Today I'll be taking you through some Google Analytics theory while discovering interaction reporting. Interaction is one of the main key performance indicators or KPIs that you'll be working with as a product analyst. This video is a part of the Product Data Analytics Skills series. If you're interested in starting a career in data analytics or product data analytics, be sure to subscribe as I'll be sharing other videos like this in the future. So the first chapter is on what, why, and how. An interaction is a touch point with an element on a website. These are defined by analysts or Google Analytics users and can be clicks, hovers, scrolls, or anything like that. If you want to learn more about this, have a look at my first video, which is an introduction to Google Analytics. All interactions are captured using tags, which are placed on website elements either by a developer or using Google Tag Manager. These interactions are sent as events to Google Analytics, where they can then be analyzed. So where can you find these events? So when you're in the interface, you go to Behavior, Events, and Top Events. And this will bring you to a report where you can see an overview of all the events available in your Google Analytics property. There are three main metrics which we'll run through today: total events, unique events, and a trickier metric to get your head around, which is unique dimension combinations. So let's go back to our SOC website. Here we have a product card with an image and a call to action button. We want to understand how the Add to Cart button is performing. As mentioned in the introduction to Google Analytics, events are captured with three categories. Event category, what is the component? Event action, what is the user doing? And event label, what is the user interacting with? In the example of our product card, event category could be product card. Event action, what is the user doing? Here we're interested in the clicks on the Add to Cart button, so the action is click. And finally, event label, what is the user interacting with? Here it's Add to Cart. Here are some other examples of tracking that we could add to the product card. So we have a range of different actions. We have click, hover, and viewed, and the event labels are relative to what is on the element. We call these categories dimensions, and when triggered, they are sent or fired to Google Analytics at the same time. So the process is something like this. A user clicks on an element, and a tag is fired in Google Analytics. Let's have a look at this in a live demo on the Google Merchandise Store. So we're now on the Google Merchandise Store, and we're going to have a look at what fires when we click on this element here. So we're using a debugger called Fiddler. It's available for Mac and Windows, and it just fires everything that Google Analytics is sending from the page. So we're looking for an event that has the event action category and label for the element that we're interested in. So here we are. We have the event category, action, and label for enhanced e-commerce for the quick view click. To understand what's happening with these interactions, we have three main metrics. If Casey clicks on the Add to Cart button 4 times, the event will be sent or fired 4 times to Google Analytics, and the total events metric will be 4. If another customer, Nina, also clicked on the Add to Cart button 4 times, the total events for this button would be 8. Google Analytics increments the total events metric by the number of times the tracking has fired, such as event category product card, event action click, and event label Add to Cart. For unique interactions, Google Analytics counts 1 for the first time the event is fired in the session with these dimension values and ignores any additional events with the same values. So if Nina clicks more than once, she'll only be counted for the first time that she clicked. So in our case with Add to Cart button, unique events would be 2. 1 for each customer that clicked within a session. So 1 for Casey and 1 for Nina. The total events metric counts each time the value is sent. So here we have 8, so 4 for Casey and 4 for Nina. Pretty simple so far. But next up we have unique dimension combinations. Now this metric counts the number of unique dimension value combinations for each dimension in a report. The metric will often be very close to the value of unique events in most cases, but can differ depending on the dimensions that you're using within the report. We'll go through this in more detail, but at a top-level definition, this metric allows you to combine or group dimensions without needing to add or update additional tracking. Let's take a look at an example built with a custom report. If you're not familiar with custom reports, I have a video coming up that you can take a look at. Here we have some events from the Google Merchandise Store for the interactions similar to the one in the demo earlier. For the black YouTube cap, we can see that this product has been quick viewed a total of 1,045 times, but only 121 of these interactions have been unique. Here we can see that unique events, sessions, and unique dimension combinations are the same. This is because the event, category, action, and label dimensions are sent to Google Analytics at the same time, as demonstrated earlier. Let's say your stakeholder wanted to run a promotion and they wanted to know how many people per device from the United States interacted with products in general. If you built a report that contained country, device, and event category of enhanced e-commerce, you would see that unlike before, you have different values for the unique metrics. This is because country and device events are sent to or fired to Google Analytics at different times within the session compared to the e-commerce event. So taking unique events in this case would overinflate the audience size for your stakeholders' promotion. Unique dimension combinations looks at the unique number of sessions that have triggered these events within one session. This gives us the total number of people that had this group of actions. Let's have a look at another example. If you went on the Google Merchandise website and clicked on a black and red hat on the home page, a black hat on the men's page, and a yellow hat on the women's page, your interactions in Google Analytics would look something like this. Total unique events would be 4, and unique dimension combinations would be 4 for the 4 unique actions that you have taken. Now, if you removed event label from the report, Google Analytics now shows 2 unique events and 1 unique dimension combination for the interactions that we had with the quick view element. This is because unique events is summing the value of the 2 interactions that we had with the black and red hats on the home page. Remember that event category, action, and label fire to Google Analytics at the same time. So in the case of our quick view interactions, we click on the black cap and the interaction sent to Google Analytics. Then we click on the red cap and the interaction is sent to Google Analytics in another event. If you want to understand unique interactions for the quick view elements overall, we need to combine or group these interactions at the action category on a unique level. Let's look at this case where we have multiple users. Casey clicks on the quick view for the black cap and the event is sent to Google Analytics. He then takes a quick look at the red cap and this event is also sent to Google Analytics. Nina comes along and has a quick look at the black, red, and yellow caps. These events will all be sent separately to Google Analytics. To understand the overall quick view performance, we need to combine or group these metrics at event action level. If we looked at this in a table, unique events would show 5, 2 for Casey and 3 for Nina. Again, this is because unique events is still looking at the data at the beginning of the diagram and is counting Nina's events as 3 unique hits and Casey's as 2 unique hits. Unique dimension combinations looks at the combined level of the data in the diagram, so it counts 2. Going back to our stakeholders' question around wanting to run a promotion in the United States, unique dimension combinations discounts any customers that have clicked on multiple products and counts them once. So this would be the metric that we would want to use. Understanding how events fire on a website will help you with figuring out which metric to use between unique events and unique dimension combinations. If the event is sent to Google Analytics at the same time, unique events will match unique dimension combinations. If the events are sent to Google Analytics at different times within the session, these metrics may not match at all, and unique events will most likely be inflated. If in doubt, always use unique dimension combinations, as this should be correct in both circumstances. Let's recap. What is an interaction? An interaction is the analysis of behavioral events captured using tags on a website. Where can you find these events? Either in a custom report or stored under the Behavior tab in the interface. The main metrics that we will use are total events, and unique dimension combinations. What are unique dimension combinations? The unique number of sessions that have interacted with a combination of events. For best practice, use unique dimension combinations all the time when measuring unique interaction. Let's move on to calculating interaction rate. We'll be using the metrics that we just learnt about to gain a deeper understanding of interaction. So interaction rate is a very useful measure in the product analytics world and helps analysts find areas on websites or apps where the customer may be having trouble. We call these pain points. Let's say a developer notifies us that some of the add to cart buttons on the website have stopped working, and we need to know what percentage of sessions usually use this element so the development team can understand how urgent this piece of work is to fix. To do this, we would first look at all the sessions who have seen the page where the element lives. So in this case, we have 100 sessions that saw the stock product page. Next, we will find out how many unique dimension combinations there are for event category action label for the event that fires for add to cart on the stock product page. In this case, there are 80 unique dimension combinations for the interaction of click add to cart. Now we can divide unique dimension combinations by sessions and times by 100 to calculate interaction rate. Let's take a look at an example using some data from the Google Merchandise Store. We'll be calculating the add to cart interaction rate of the men's apparel page. So we're in Google Analytics and we're going to be making a segment. So click on New Segment, we give it a name, something that's going to be easy to remember next time we come back. So we're going to say sessions that saw men's apparel page. Go to conditions and we'll set the condition to meet the page conditions that we've just said. So we want to say everybody that's been on the men's apparel page. We'll save that and this will give us the sessions number. We'll copy this and we'll pop this over onto Google Sheet, like so. Next, we need unique dimension combinations. I have a custom report already set up, so I'm going to get it from there. And I'm just going to filter to make sure that we're getting exactly what we need. So I'm looking for events that happened on the same page as the segment with event category of enhanced e-commerce. And then event action of add to cart. So when we click apply, this will refresh the report and will just give me back all the events that relate to what I'm looking for. And we have total events, and what we're looking for is unique dimension combinations. So copy this, pop this back over into the sheet, and then we can calculate interaction rate. So unique dimension combinations divided by sessions, and then we're just going to make this a percentage. So currently it's around 10%. Another useful measure is the average number of times an element is interacted with within a session. This is useful for understanding pain points. If an element that should only be clicked once or twice has a high number of average clicks, this can be an indication of either the user becoming stuck or clicking multiple times out of frustration. Let's take a look at how to calculate this using Google Merchandise data. So now we're back in Google Analytics. We're going back to the same report as before, and we're going to get total events and add this to our calculation. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it into my spreadsheet. To calculate average clicks, we do total events divided by unique dimension combinations, and you can round this to 2 decimal places or to 0 decimal places. I prefer 0 as it makes more sense to me. So here we've got an average of 2 clicks. So interaction rate of 10%, average clicks of 2. And that's about it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or leave a comment below. See you next time.